Good evening, folks. You can see I'm somewhat a little bit distraught. And the reason why I'm a little bit distraught because for me, I'm such a technocrat that I like for things to work smoothly. I don't like for it to be any glitches. So I always prepare and pre-prepare. And so, but we're gonna go on. So what I'm going to do, since I don't know whether you could hear me out there or not, but Q could not hear me. So I'm assuming that you could not. So I'm going to repeat myself. In the first video, I'm going to delete. So that's what I want Q to do at this time. Delete the first video so no one will see it and make sure they know that. And so what I want y'all to do now is I want you to tell somebody to tell somebody. I want you to tell the people to, y'all excuse me. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, I want you to tell someone to look at this video where you can see I'm raw because you just saw me picking at my nose. I'm from the hood. I just got the education last. But anyway, I don't like for hair or anything like that to be in my nose. If you see most people my age, you see hair in the nose and the ear. You're not gonna see that with me. If I feel hair anywhere, I'm gonna pull it out, no matter where I am. So, but anyway, people, I apologize for that. I apologize for the delay, and so we're gonna start over again. I have been talking about things, and I can tell you that I have been gone for a while, and I am back. And so I'm back because we have some very important issues that we need to deal with right now. We have an election that's coming up this year that's very important in November. I think November the 6th is the presidential election. And make sure you vote. And folks, I'm just going to tell you, I am a die-hard Kamala Harris fan. I'm going to vote for Tim Walz and Kamala Harris. And I hope a lot of you out there do the same thing. Now, how is it that us, meaning black people, how is it that we are the bottom feeders in America? And it's not going to get better for us. And we can still sit around at home and not do anything and not say anything, but we complain and we need help more so than anybody. But we got to vote, people. Not only is it our duty to vote, we must vote in order to be a part of this system, to be a part of change and make things better for not only us, but for all peoples. I think that Donald Trump uh, is not qualified to be president of the United States. Let's assume that the Democrats set him up. Let's assume that he's not a narcissist. Let's assume that the 34 felony convictions that he got, that he would not have got them if the people had been unfair to him. But he had them. Folks, we've been set up all of our lives. Black people, we've been mistreated. The system done came out against us. The system has not been fair to us. The system has neglected us. We have gotten peoples and put them in office, and they have not cared about us. They have not done anything for us. No one has done anything for us. They've done things for everybody else but us. But you know what? I don't want, James Brown said, open up the door and I'll get it myself. I don't even want you to open up the door for me. I just want you to get the fuck out of my way and I'll do it myself. But see, I mean, I don't want you to give me anything. I don't want you to do anything for me because I'm going to learn what it is that I need to do in order for me to be okay. I don't think I'm being selfish when I'm saying me. I'm talking about all those little mini me's. I'm talking about those things that it is my duty to make sure it's okay, such as my family. It is my duty to make sure my family is okay. It is my duty to make sure my children are okay. It is my duty to make sure my friends are okay. It is my duty to make sure my community is okay. It is my duty. I don't need you to help me do that unless I ask for help. I'm going to find out what it is that I need to do, and I'm going to do it myself. I know that the most important thing that I can do is that I can vote, because when I vote for things to be the way that I want them to be. How am I going to know that? I look at their report card. I look at what they have done or what it is that they're going to do. If I look at what it is that they're going to do, I can make a determination about whether or not I want to vote for them. Now, yes, I'm going to talk about that Meridian election. It's coming up, and we have quite a few people that are running for office. And you know what? That's a good thing. I don't think anyone should just sit there and not have anyone vote against not run against them. And usually people don't run against an individual, male or female, not because they may be doing a stellar job, because they don't want to rock the boat. Well, I got to tell you this, people, not only will I rock the boat, I turn it over. Not only will I turn the boat in, I snatch it up out of the water. If I can't get it out of the water, I'll blow a hole in it so it can sink. So yes, I'm going to rock the boat. I don't care about that. I think that everybody that's in office should have someone running against them. I don't care what the party affiliation is. And I think they need to tell us what it is that they're going to do so that we can make an informed choice and choose for the most qualified person. So look at the state of your community. Look at what has happened during these last 3 years or these last 4 years. Look at what has happened in the United States under Joe Biden. Look at what happened in the United States under Donald J. Trump. Look at that. Don't listen at the things that Donald Trump is telling you. Don't listen at the things that Kamala Harris is telling you. Listen at the things that they're telling you that they have done or that they're going to do. Don't listen at the division, using hate, using all these different things in order to get a job. Look at their platform, what it is that Donald Trump is going to do for you, not for himself. Donald Trump is merely trying to stay out of jail. He don't want to go to jail. He wants to get in there. He has already packed the Supreme Court, and they have already said that anything he do in office, he can't be challenged. They made Donald J. Trump, not only Donald J. Trump, Joe Biden couldn't be me, folks. I couldn't be Joe Biden. If I was Joe Biden, I'd do the same shit that damn Donald Trump did. I'll make it so his ass will be unqualified. Well, you can't do anything from it because you're already not on. But they made Donald Trump king. Didn't make anybody else king. But I like Joe Biden because Joe Biden is still following the United States Constitution, the laws of the land, the policies and procedure. He's following protocol. Donald Trump has never done that. He has always did what he wanted to do. There's no way he should be allowed to run for the United States president as a convicted felon. A lot of you out there, if you can vote, you have family members, you know people that cannot vote because they have just one felony conviction. If you have a felony conviction, you cannot stay in public housing. In some states, if you have been charged with a felony, you cannot stay in public housing or get any kind of government funds or benefit until you satisfy the courts. Wow, folks. And you telling me that some of you out there gonna vote, let's say he's more qualified than Kamala Harris. He's more qualified than she is. But he's a convicted felon. I don't care. You can make all the excuses you want to make. His attorneys, they have what you call voir dire, the jury, meaning they got to select. A lot of the people that found him guilty were white Republicans, white male Republicans. It was not that many of your peers and my peers on that jury. It was a jury of his peers that found him guilty based on the facts, based on the circumstances. So I can make an excuse. Oh, well, it was unfair to me. They set me up. And so does that mean, but I couldn't vote. It was times that I could not vote. And some of you out there now cannot vote. So no, Donald Trump, if y'all planning on voting for Donald Trump, then I'd say you're wrong, because then now you have a two-sided sword. You have a sword that you use against me and everybody else, and you use the dull side of the non-gun side for Donald J. Trump. You have white folks out there because of their racism and they disdain and hate for the black community, for ladies, and for everything that sane people gonna promote and care about. Those people gonna vote for Donald Trump no matter what Donald Trump say and no matter what Donald Trump do. They're gonna vote for him because they share that same feeling of hate, that racism, that division. They use that law to keep you and I, to impede our progress, to keep us from being all we can be and doing what we need to do. But then that law is not applicable to their kind. Hey, look here. Then we need to do what they're doing. Joe Biden needs to put Donald Trump ass in jail. He can use an executive. With law. He can just an executive decision. He can do what Donald Trump did, make the Supreme Court eat that shit up. No sooner than they done that, the same day I would have did an executive law saying that he's not eligible to run for president of the United States because he's a convicted felon. I would have solved that problem and get mad at me. I wouldn't care. Folks, I want to tell y'all this is that I didn't mean to run off on a tangent, but I got to tell y'all this is and good evening, Fred, and okay, and thanks Terry for letting me know that. I'm just not looking at my chats now, so you all can chat me now, and you can talk to me. So, people, I got to tell you this is that Terry Rogers. I'm so proud of him because he's a young man, and I keep saying that, and I have to give him his kudos, not deviate from that. You know, he ran for public office, and now he's in college in Tulu, and he's going to be a lawyer. He has a very bright future ahead of him, and I'm proud of him, and I know his family is too. And I got to say this is that. Uh, you know, Fred was in the last time you heard me talk. Fred was in had charges against him, and those charges have been dismissed. And I can tell you, I don't mind telling you that I helped him. I stayed in the trenches with him until he was free, until he was successful. Not only has those charges been dismissed against him, those charges have been expunged against him. He was charged with arson. And folks, you know, it's sad when a person is in office, such as James Moore, and y'all put him back in there, that's in office, and they use that office to hurt you or to hurt the citizens or hurt your family. I don't care what color. Fred could have been a white person. I would have done the same thing had that person asked me to help. I don't care what color this person's skin is. No one should be able to use their office in order to affect the life of another person. And I want to now get off a national level, and I want to talk about some things. And I want to reiterate about uh, you're not voting. Have you not noticed how bad things are for you and for your friends and for your family and my friends? I have family and I have friends that I love and care about, and I know a lot of you out there do too, and they don't vote, and they always have problems, and they're always calling me for help. And look, I love my family, and I'm gonna help my family, and that's what I do. And I know that some of you out there vote, and still things happen to you. And so say, well, say Eddie Gray, that doesn't apply to me, but things are not going good for me. It's because when the majority of us do not partake in the political process, the majority of us, black people, don't vote, and the majority of us don't vote, and we constitute 38%, slightly more, with 30% of the Mississippi population and 26% of the population of Alabama black people. But Mississippi has the largest black population, and we are the most oppressed people. The most oppressed people, black people, are in the state of Mississippi, which has the highest black population that could literally make difference in the state of Mississippi if we would just turn out and vote. So I'm impressing upon you now to get out and vote. I'm beseeching you. In another word, meaning I'm begging you to exercise your right to vote. Some of you out there, they told you that you cannot vote. Let's take this opportunity to straighten up the state of Mississippi, because the Attorney General, Lynn, he's the Lieutenant Governor now, but he was the Secretary of the State, and now he's the Lieutenant Governor. He took it up on himself to add 20 things. Him and the Attorney General for the state of Mississippi took upon themselves to add 20 things, new things. There's only 10 in the Mississippi Constitution. Based on his opinion, he added other things such as carjacking. He can't do that without a constitutional amendment to the state of Mississippi. So if you have one of those charges where they have told you that you cannot vote, please contact me, Eddie Hope, 205-702-5581, so I can assist you in a pro se petition against the state of Mississippi for disenfranchising not only you, we're going to say tens of thousands of black citizens in the state of Mississippi. So I implore you again, 205-702-5581. Folks, I want to stop a little bit and tell y'all the mistake that I made, and we'll get back to the election. I've been gone for a while. As the last thing you heard me talk about was me filing lawsuit against the state of Mississippi. Well, that lawsuit was dismissed with prejudice. I have talked about qualified immunity so much on my podcast because of all the police killing, beating, and the illegal things they've done, not only in the state of Mississippi, but throughout the United States, such as Breonna Taylor and George Floyd, just to name a Trayvon Martin, just to name a few. Tamir Rice, the young kid that was killed, qualified immunity. They all screamed that. I was so intent upon getting my revenge that I did not focus on qualified immunity. And so I was told by Judge Lee, and he's the federal judge with the Southern District of Mississippi Northern Division. He was over my case, and he dismissed my case with prejudice. He gave me a lot of things to overcome. I just did not. It was almost as if Judge Lee was actually an advocate for the city of Meridian. And folks, and I can understand that, because what they don't want to do is they don't want to enrich us. And it's okay, because I still have a part of that lawsuit alive and well in the state of Alabama against WTOK. And so it's like if I'm not the type of person that's vindictive. When people do something to me, I like for karma to come in and take care of it. Now, I ain't always been like this. And I ain't even finna tell y'all I'm saved, because I ain't saved, but I'm going to use that metaphor. I ain't always been saved. So when I was saved, I would have took care of things in a different kind of way. But I'm not like that now, meaning that I use the court system, I use the pen in order to make things better and different, not only for me, but for anybody I will assist that I can help. But my lawsuit was, and it was nearly a $50 million lawsuit. There was no way, boy, there was no way they was going to do that, but that's okay. If I had it to do all over again, and I will have it to do all over again, because I'm going to assist my family member in filing a lawsuit. And when they tell me that I can talk about it, I will, but I'm going to focus on the qualified immunity. But the people in Lauderdale County, Mississippi, Meridian, are very, very powerful. They are so powerful that they arms are long. They say you can't outrun the long arms of the law, but I'm gonna tell you, you can't outrun the long arms of those politicians in the city of Meridian. They are so far reaching. They reach all the way to the state and reach all the way to the United States Capitol, meaning they have contacts, people that they know, and that's what it is. That's what it is. They use their group. They make their group powerful, folks, and so we're not powerful because we don't know anybody that's a justice court judge. And I got to deviate a little bit. If we know a justice court judge, that justice court judge ain't gonna do nothing for his family. And I'm gonna talk about Andre Harris. It's shame on y'all for re-electing that man. That man don't care nothing about the black person. I want one black person out there that I want you to put it on your Facebook page. Find me one Negro that Andre Harris has done something positive for besides disrespect and not follow the law, but did what the hell he wanted to do. Find me just one person. His great nephew was in jail, and he would not even help his niece get him out of jail. That's how sorry that man is. And he can't live forever. Can't live forever. Y'all need to put somebody in there that's gonna make a difference. Y'all had the opportunity to vote for Lolo, and you did. You had the opportunity, and you should have, because you know what? Y'all use her all the time to help you do things. She makes a difference in your life. She has done that. But when she ran for office, where were you? Your ass was MIA, missing in action. And y'all need to stop doing, get up. And I said this before I realized I was being muted, is that you ain't got to get up off your sorry behind. You can lay there in your bed. You can keep on surfing the web, because they'll send an absentee ballot to your home so you can vote. If you can't do it, if you disabled, they will send people out. It is the law. The law will assist you no matter how disabled you are in exercising your right to vote. That's how easy it is to vote. This time we need to make a difference. We have some things in place where we're going to reseed Lauderdale County and change it from a red county to a blue county. Now, y'all hear Two Bell talking to me. He ain't talked to me in a while. He said, bro, you done lost your mind. No, I ain't lost my mind. I promise you, folks, you hear me talk. I'm going to be instrumental in turning Lauderdale County from a red county to a blue county. Give in the next 4 years. And it ain't impossible. All you got to do is a plan. And now I'm fixing to tell y'all, I gave Percy Bland that Bama. Don't y'all re-elect that Bama. I gave Percy Bland this plan. I gave him two plans to end the violence in the state of Mississippi. And another plan, I gave one to John Flowers. He was the president of the Democratic Party at that time, and he don't have it anymore because I've already talked to him about it, but I got it right here. See, when I write something, I know what I wrote. I got it up here. I got that kind of mind. Gave to Percy Bland. I don't think he have it, but if he have it, then he know what my plans are. I'm going to reseed Lauderdale County. I'm going to show y'all. I ain't going to just talk to you. I'm going to show you how it's going to be done. Folks, now you hear Generation X, Y, Z. It ain't no Generation Y. It's a Generation X and it's a Generation Z. You have the baby boomers, of which I am. And after that, you have baby boomers too. Then you have Generation X. And then you have millennials. Y'all know what the millennials are. Q could probably, I want you to type in Q what all that is. I know that you're listening to me. The age, and then Generation Z is what Q is. And then you have the Alpha generation that started in 2012. So it's never been a Y, but X didn't follow. Y didn't follow X. X didn't even follow. Z did not follow X. So you can see how they done that. But we dropped the ball. Now, when I have a friend named Michael Carlisle, he's an excellent musician. He plays the flute. Now, you see him play keyboard, and he's very good at that. But he actually took music from the 7th grade all the way through high school, and he got a scholarship to go to Jackson State. But our parents weren't telling us to go to college. They were saying go to school. Our parents didn't even say finish school. And so some of us didn't finish school. We finished school in the military and things like that. So I just want to say that he got a scholarship in music, and he went into the United States Navy. I went into the Air Force, and he did 4 years in the Navy. I did 4 years in the Army. My brother Tubet was in the Marine Corps. My brother Kirk did, I think, 10 years in the Army. My brother Graylin did about 8. I think he did about 8 months altogether in the military, but he's a disabled vet. But either way, folks, I'm telling you is that we got to make a difference. We dropped the ball. See, I didn't know what you are being told every day by people like Lolo and the internet and the web. You have everything at your fingertips. Information was filtered to us. We only know what was told to us or what we saw. Only thing we saw was violence and other poor people like us that didn't have shoes, that didn't hardly have food to eat, large families and no man in the house. That's all we saw. We didn't have a television. You have all the information at your tip. When I say information, I'm talking about all the information that's in the world is at your fingertips. Phones are so affordable now. We didn't have a phone. I didn't know anything about a phone. I saw them on TV when we were finally got a TV with one channel, channel 11. But we didn't have that. That's how poor. But you now have the opportunity to make a difference in your life. And it was education that changed things for us, and education will change things for you. But you have got to vote. Q just posted that. And you don't see Q, and she won't be making comments because Q has her own podcast coming up. And I'm going to stop again. And the millennials failed their children. Generation X failed their children. Now, look, some of y'all don't get mad at me because I'm not talking to all of you. I'm talking to you that did not tell your children and grandchildren, everybody you met, the importance of voting. I didn't learn that stuff, the importance of voting, until I was in my 30s. I didn't know that we had dropped the ball so bad until I started seeing for myself. I always seen the problems. I always seen the unfair treatment. I've always seen that, and I've experienced that myself from the legal system. Even in 2001, folks, I don't have to go back to 1977 when I was charged for a crime that I did not commit. I don't have to go back to 1982 when I started doing prison time for something I did not do. I don't have to go back that far. I can go back to 2021 when Loretta Allen and myself And not only that, another person and those people. But I'm going to talk about Lolo and myself, and I'm not going to talk about Lolo because Lolo record has been, the charges against her was dismissed and expunged by Dustin Markham. He did it, and Joseph Denson did that. So Lolo doesn't have a criminal record. It's been expunged. How about the charges were dismissed against me too? But Dustin, with his sorry ass, won't even do it, and the judge pro tem won't even do it. It's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna get rid of his ass. It's my time now, Dustin. Yes, I know you're watching. I know you're gonna see it. It's my time now. I'm gonna make sure that your ass don't be there, damn, this time next year. I'm gonna make sure with all the breath in my body and every penny that I got to spend, I'm gonna ensure that your ass ain't there. Now I'm gonna say this now. Jimmy Smith hired him. Damn it, Jimmy, your ass gotta go. You gotta go. Ain't no sense in staying there. Now let me tell you how they hate. Now y'all done heard me talk before how when we have this podcast, how we should. I tell you about the most qualified people. Now I went on. I talked about Dwayne Davis. I talked about Rita Jackson. I talked about this and I'm talking. But folks, let me just tell you about the current city council. My opinion now. This is what I'm thinking. All of them ass need to go. Dwayne Davis need to go. Joe Norwood Jr. need to go. Tybell Lindsay need to go. Ramonda Walker definitely need to go. And George Thomas ass should have been gone. But he stayed there. He out of the four, he's the happiest. His citizens, his constituents, his peer group, they're the happiest. But not Ramonda Walker. If she go in her ward, her constituents are not happy with what she done because she ain't done shit for them. Dwayne Davis, his constituents are not happy. Man, who gives a fuck about a park or what's going on? A play? We don't care about the play when you got that damn courtroom down there with Dustin Markham up in there and all them damn white folks up in there. How the hell you going to minister black justice to black people with all them white folks in there? You telling me that you don't have any qualified black people that can be in these positions? And I'm saying the same thing to you, Jimmy Smith. There's no qualified black people. You ran all over qualified black people to go and hire somebody in Jackson to come here that ain't never hardly here to be over public works when you had a black person that was more qualified than the person you bring it in. You bring in the community, you bring in Jimmy Smith. How in the hell can you do this shit, man? I don't understand it. When you was growing up and I was growing up, even when you was working with the police department, they didn't have no black people in department head. You had one token person there, and that's Reverend Odell Hobson. He was one token person there, and eventually they was made to give black people's promotion. It was under Jimmy Kemp, if I ain't mistaken. They were made to give a black person. That's when John Nelson and that Teresa, whatever Cartwright, I think her name, or whatever her name is, she was a white lieutenant. And then that's when Dubose and all of them were promoted to lieutenant because they weren't even giving black people promotion. And then time we give a nigga a job, you two person brand, the first thing y'all do, y'all putting all these damn white peoples over. If a black person, you put them there and they lose their job, replace them with another black person. That's what white folks do. Why are you all so beholden to white folks? Now, damn it, I'm finna talk. Y'all know that nigga running for mayor again. Let me tell you something. What is it that person going to give you to get your vote? What he gonna give you? He didn't give you shit when he was there. I'm not talking about his homosexuality. I'm not talking about any of that shit. I don't give a damn about none of that. Let's talk about his qualification. His ass need to stay gone. He don't miss you because he ain't done nothing for you, but he needs you in order to get that job. He needs you. He needs your vote. Now, let me tell y'all something now, and I'm going to tell you this too, Jimmy Smith. I know you're listening. A lot of the people, Jimmy, that put you in office, they are dead and went on. They're gone. They ain't coming back. So the people that vote are dying off. The white people now see an opportunity to take over your city because they going to vote. No matter how old or how young, when they're old enough to vote, they going to vote and they're going to turn out in numbers. They going to do that. They talking about on Sunday before the election, they all come together. Everybody go to church then. We are children there. Y'all go and look when this election come up. The Sunday before, we going to say the 4th. the 4th of November, that's on a Sunday. You go down on by the library and see how many people be down there talking, and go a week before then, see how they down there playing, and do the same thing when they run for when the office is running. Them white people down there scheming and planning. And right now they see an opportunity. From what I understand, Barbara Henson's daughter is gonna run against Joe Norwood Jr. Joe Norwood Jr., you got a fight on your hand, and even somebody gonna run against you, Dave. There's a couple of people gonna run against you, Rhonda Walker. Now I'm just give y'all a couple of names of people that I know going to run. I know that Tyrone Johnson is gonna run for mayor. I know that Rita Jacks, she confirmed that she's definitely gonna run for mayor. I was thinking that she wouldn't, but now that I know that she is, I know that Percy Bland is running for mayor. I know that Jimmy Smith is running for re-election. Now, I want to talk about just two first, and then we're going to go back. Now, the only reason why Barbara Henson's daughter is running for mayor because she sees an opportunity. Because those of you out there that are not voting, you can't let this shit happen. You cannot let it happen. Some of you have children out there and grandchildren out there. You have failed them. You are failing them. Go downtown Meridian and look at it, how you can go there anytime and you see white folks strolling and walking so carefree. And we got one little section, just like it was back in the day. We had all of Lower Fifth Street. We don't have any of that now. We got one little section right there in front of the communities, in front of the garage that John Robert Smith built, and they're using it for community service. That's where inspection is. That little one club there, right there where the Unknown Soldier is, it's a club right there where it's already been killings there. And so we got that little one thing that, why is it that here we are, too well, can I talk? Y'all here said, bro, don't tell a lie. 95% of the people in Mississippi, black people are voting, but we don't get nothing. We get a little few crumbs. That's a crumb. That's what you throw the dogs under the table a few minutes. So you have, well, let me say it right. That's where you throw crumbs under the table to the dogs. That's what Jimmy Smith does. We get this little Juneteenth festival that Percy Bland started. He took it from Craig Houston, and he should not have. He should have put money into it. So don't y'all go and vote for Percy because you dissatisfied and arrogant ass Jimmy Smith. And he's arrogant as fuck. He's so arrogant he think that he'll be reelected. I'm gonna say this, Jimmy. If you want people to support you, you definitely going to get rid of Dustin Abbott. That ain't gonna do you no good, because from what I hear, so many people are dissatisfied with you. Hadn't heard anybody say it. Now all that they talk about is how arrogant you are. And I'm gonna say this to you, and another person told me this, and I ain't gonna call their name, but I'm gonna call my name. Jimmy, you told me over the phone that you knew the charges against me was bogus. You called me then, but you won't call me now. You won't talk to me. And I still got your cell phone number. You won't even respond to me. I almost have to make you shake my hand. And I think you're shaking it now because you know you're gonna run that. Now I gotta tell you this. Now you be sharp. Now you look the part, but you don't. You dress the part, but your face don't show the part. It's arrogant. And now I'm just gonna say this, Jimmy, is that you have failed us. Now, folks, I'm gonna talk about a couple of things. To me, he's a better mayor than Percy Bland. Percy was just outright corrupt. He don't let Percy come back and tell you lies. He's a liar. Tool Belt, Percy Bland is a liar. He ain't gonna do nothing but lie. That nigga, time he open his damn mouth, he gonna tell you a lie. He ain't gonna do any of the things that he say he's gonna do, but he's gonna lie to you and make you think. That's what the devil. Percy's the devil. Percy's the devil. Y'all scared of the devil? You talk about his ass every fucking Sunday. Shit, Percy is the damn devil. Anybody that can lie like that with a straight face, ain't nobody can do that but the devil. So why would you go back and bring somebody back in office? If you want to know what he did, go back and look what he did when he was in office. He didn't do shit. He appointed people that was not qualified to be in the position that they were in. Those people done turned against him. So Percy, like Donald Trump, on his revenge. Why would you even re-elect Donald Trump? I know some of you out there gonna vote for him anyway. Y'all just ignorant as them old damn prejudiced ass crackers and shit that's gonna vote for his ass. Y'all ignorant. But you know we always did have them damn Chicken George type niggas, them manumission type niggas, them old niggas that goddamn always worried about the master. Y'all seen Django Unchained. Old Steve. You always had them kind of niggas, and you gonna continue to have them kind of niggas. I wanna say this too. Somebody just said it's because your generation was raised to think the white is superior. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna answer this. I don't know who High Value Man, and your generation too. Not only my generation, but your generation. But let me tell you the difference between your generation and my generation. We had black-owned stores. We had black-owned cleaners, not just one. We had black everything. We had black movie theaters. We had black cab companies, not just one, but two. So we always had black everything. What we did, and that's what you don't have now. We promoted our own. We had black schools, and we had black teachers, and we had black principals. We even had Sub-Area, first black police officer. We even had him. You don't have any of that now. Anybody that you got, it was damn a black mayor, Percy Bland, that fucked me and Lolo up, that fucked us and fuck you. That's a black mayor. The first black mayor of Meridian, Mississippi, put trumped up charges on Lolo, charged me and Lolo with receiving, possession, and sending child pornography. Y'all know what that shit is, taking film, watching children have sex and taking films of them. He got Rochester Anderson to do that shit. Another black man, but not only that, a Democrat, which alienated me with the Democratic Party. Guess what? When Jimmy Smith ass got in there, he not only told me, he had an opportunity. Rita Jackson was the most qualified person to be the damn chief of police. You bring Deborah Young out of retirement, who hadn't been there in a long time, and look the police department now is understaffed. So I can just tell you this, is that no, Percy Bland, no. Percy, I ain't talking about you and what you done did. I don't care nothing about that, because we done said all that and got you out of there. What I'm gonna do, I'm finna make your ass spend the level that you got. He missed that sack, folks. Percy Bland don't want to come back to Meridian because he missed that power. Donald Trump missed that power. Don't associate Percy Bland with damn Barack Obama. He ain't a latch on Barack Obama's ass. Associate his ass with Donald Trump, a goddamn crooked ass. The FBI investigated his ass. They interviewed him. And I was told this by a confidential person. I was told this, that the only reason why they didn't put Percy ass in jail is because they didn't want to put the first black mayor in Meridian, Mississippi in jail. The reason why they didn't do it. Folks, he take his ass. If y'all be stupid enough, and I'm gonna ensure that you smart enough so you don't do it. If you be stupid enough and put him in there, his ass won't make it out his turn, because he'll go to damn jail, and the president of the city council will be the mayor of Meridian. Don't y'all bring his ass back. He missed that power like Donald Trump. He missed that money. Ain't nobody buying insurance no more, especially from his ass. He missed all that power. And that little brown bag that he got, and they all getting the brown bag. That's my opinion. I don't know whether it's factual. I said they all get the brown bag, either in kind contribution or actual cash. Now I gotta ask y'all this. Now y'all think, if y'all look at the company, Lolo know the name of the company. If y'all look at the company that Jimmy Smith worked for 10 years, you will find that it's the same company that's putting all the roads there in Meridian, Mississippi. Don't that make you wonder? Why did Jimmy now I tell you this, now if Jimmy Smith repaying them the favor for giving him a job as a lobbyist, paying him a six-figure income, wow, then I can understand that. But you gotta ask, why did they give him that job in the first place? From what I understand, he actually won the mayor's race, and he lost by a few votes, 2 or 3. Now y'all hear two better times, said, bro, you know the number was high in there. 2 or 102. Or 1,002, he didn't challenge it, because I'm told that the Republican Party made a deal with him, and they gave him that job, making more money than he gave him double money, triple. Can I tell him a two best statement here? Triple paid him about almost $200,000 a year. Now it wasn't that much, but they paid him a pretty good income, because the salary for a supervisor was only about $49,000 or $59,000 when he was supervisor, and they doubled that salary for him to sit his ass down. And that they paid him more than he would have made as mayor. And now look at him, he's mayor, and he bring those same people back. So where's your brown bag at, Jimmy Smith? Where is it at? Getting it some kind of way. So Jimmy, he don't really care. He's not really doing anything. He show up for those meetings. And folks, I want to talk about one thing, the reason why I said the entire city council need to go. The reason why I said they need to go, because they had an opportunity when Rita Jackson was, they didn't even hold on to their horses. They knew that she was the most qualified person, but yet all they had to do was just kept rejecting everybody that came, that the Percy Bland came. But why would they give someone a job that's not qualified. They gave Deborah Young the job, and you had people that was there. They could have just about hired anyone at the Meridian Police Department, and I'm gonna say black, that would have been more qualified with her because they were still there and they had not lost step. And so you have so it's a lot of things that the council allowed to happen, such as what happened to me, what happened to Lowe. Jimmy Smith then straighten it up. And folks, I'm gonna tell y'all this. Do y'all know I done filed for an expungement on all the charges that have been brought up against me? I've been found not guilty of all of them. And do you know that John Howell, he's the judge pro tempore, or the judge pro tem, they say. He has not, Dustin said he can't sign it because he recused himself. Man, that nigga ain't shit. And John Howard saying he ain't got around to it. Folks, I filed that stuff over a year ago and he ain't got around to it yet. That's okay. Every dog got their day. Because what we got to do is change the house. Kick their ass out in the streets. Kick them out in the street. So the next person I get there, I bet the next judge coming there ain't going to have no all-white courtroom. I bet the next judge coming there going to have people in there similar to us. Because I'm not, I got to tell y'all this. I know, I'm gonna go down my list. I know, but we got to have us a black CAO. We need a female, but it doesn't matter to me, long as he's black. I had somebody tell me, I sure wish I knew what church that he went to. If I ain't mistaken, I think it's that church over there on off 20th Street. Is that 31st Avenue Baptist Church that moved from 31st Avenue and it's on big old church? I think that's Reverend Charles. You know, Reverend oh, I can't remember his name. Anyway, Low know his name. You know, he was the chief of police, and he's the pastor of that church. I think, well, I know at one church on Fifth Street Baptist Church, I know of one PhD that's there. So that might be the church that they're talking about. But you have a lot of educated people that are right there in Meridian, Mississippi. I'm not talking about people with bachelor's degrees. I'm talking about people with master's and specialists and doctorate degrees. I know a couple of my classmates that went on and got their specialist degree. And so, such as Jennifer, she's married now with Jennifer Whitlock. She has a specialist. She may even have her PhD now. And she's over community. I think at MCC where they teach the GED, she's the director of that program there. I'm very proud of her. So we have a lot of qualified people. How is it that we feel we beholden that we have to take, like Craig Hitt shouldn't be community service? Community? Your community is black. What the fuck you doing there? And then you got Scott Solly, crooked and do illegal shit, retired from the phone company, and he's there telling other black people what they need to do, telling black people that have, why not Martin Jack? Why Martin Jack is the type of electrician that can go anywhere in the state and work. He has his license to do that. Why is he not down there telling people what to do? You have too many qualified people right there in the city of Meridian, Lauderdale County, that are not being there. You're going to always have a problem in a community if you don't use the resources in their community. The citizens of Meridian are already alienated because you're bringing outside forces, and it's like bringing somebody, a mama from somebody else's house to beat on a child. And why can't my brother do it? Why can't my uncle do it? Well, I don't know this person. Why is this person telling me what to do? You don't have a history in Meridian. Percy Bland is not from Meridian. He did. At least Jimmy Smith grew up in Meridian. Percy Bland was shipped in by the Republican Party to do exactly what he's doing. Now, I can say this is that a person that I have a great deal of respect for, and I like to follow her. I cannot follow her on this, and I hope she can forgive me for that because I ain't gonna lose any respect for her. And I'm not gonna call her name, but she'll know who I'm talking about, and Lord know who I'm talking about. I don't share the opinion that we can't divide up our vote and let a white person come in. I'm not going to support Jimmy Smith, and I'm not going to support Percy Bland. Now, I can say that adamantly. Y'all here too bad time, bro. You don't even live in Mississippi no more. I don't have to live there. You live there. And a lot of your siblings live there. A lot of your children live there. And your grandchildren live there. So I have a lot of family there. Oh boy, and I can't even tell you the friends I have there. So I can impact the race. And I actually still own property there, so I can move back there while I don't want to run for office. I don't have no inclination of doing so. but I can stay there every day and I can walk. I can help inform and educate people. I can start this podcast here. But I'm a person, I'm not going to allow for you to come back to Meridian as mayor. So you didn't go, maybe you and your wife ain't together. You got a girlfriend out right there off 8th Street. I think you and her got into it not too long ago. So, I know things. And when I said not too long ago, too, but I'm not talking about last week, last month. Well, I might be talking about last year within the last 2 years. So, but I know that it happened. And that's not nothing I'm going to talk about. My point of it is that Percy's there because he missed that power. Percy Trump missed that power. Y'all cannot make Percy Trump mayor. And Donald Bland want to be president because he missed the power. Donald Bland don't want to go to jail. Donald Bland needs the money. Percy Trump missed that power. Percy Trump will go to jail. Percy Trump is corrected and he missed that money. Folks, Donald Bland want to get his enemies. He want to get everybody done something to him. He said it, Percy Trump want to do the same thing. Folks, we can't allow for either one of those things to happen. But we need to re-elect Kamala Harris, and we need to elect anyone other than Percy Bland and Jimmy Smith. Because Dustin need to go. That whole crew need to go. Get the hell up out of there. Amy Carter need to go. The city council keep Amy Carter there, and they sure not getting educated. Wayne Davis, y'all approving for these board members, and the children are not getting educated before you approve anybody. The first duty should be to fire that heifer because she's sending our children to prison. Look at the state of Meridian. Things have not gotten better. Don't even have the appearance of getting better. They don't care because you don't care. They don't do anything because you allow for it to happen. You think if you're a bully, see, the powers in Meridian are bullies, and they gonna beat on your ass until you put a stop to it. They keep depriving you of life and liberty. They keep sending your children to jail, putting you in jail, doing things to you that they should not do, that they don't do to anyone else in the community, because you allow for that bully to keep bullying you around. And the only way you're gonna stop that is by voting for people. You're gonna have to start voting for people. I'm fixing to talk about why they should go. Dwayne Davis, Tybell Lindsay, Ramonda Walker, and Joe Norwood Jr., y'all appointed people that was not qualified for those positions. You did not tell them. You should have instructed that. You could have held Jimmy Smith up. Y'all have meetings, y'all have workshops, and folks, I tell you, they could have made them settle that lawsuit. Jimmy Smith, you should have told them to settle them lawsuits. How is it you gonna pass by your neighbor and not speak? You know your neighbor is qualified. That's the kind of, man, y'all get out of y'all feelings. Percy ain't qualified to be mayor. He's qualified to be in jail. Jimmy Smith is not qualified to be mayor of Meridian. He's shown you that in these 4 years. Yes, get rid of him. But you need to bring someone in that's younger, someone that is more progressive, such as Rita Jackson, such as Tyrone Johnson. That y'all hear Two Bell talking. Two Bell, be quiet. But anyway, folks, as we continue to have these podcasts, we will talk more and more about this that I'm talking about, but I ain't finna go yet, because I want to talk about how when I went to Meridian, I went before the city council a couple of times trying to get them to put water, to bring sewage and water to my building. Now, I've talked about this, and they refuse to do so, folks. They say it's the ordinance, and they said they're not going to change the ordinance. How about Jimmy? They're not going to do anything. First thing they say is that, and they did this for, his name is Saron Heaton. I think that's his name. Whatever his name is, he lived out there near Dustin Markham, out in that community. He had a duplex, and he wanted water to go both for it. And Scott Solly instructed them to do it, told the supervisor at Public Works to do it. And how about they did it? And so when I tried to get them to do the same thing for me, they said, well, he had an existing tap. And then when I tell them they got an existing tap, well, I got one too. And so now they say, well, his stuff was already late. All that's lies. They try to find how they can not help me. But how about they do the same thing for you? Because they're not doing anything for you out there, citizens of Meridian. They're not doing anything for you. Man, it makes me sick. I be wanting to throw up and shit. The only time you see a black person in there is they just there observing to see what's going on, or they bringing their ass by there to preach and open up the meeting. That's another thing y'all need to put a stop to. Damn all that fake ass shit with having preachers coming in and open up and pledging allegiance to the flag with all the bullshit that's going on and all the illegal shit they doing, all the corruption they did. They didn't settle with Van. They didn't settle with Rita. They didn't settle with Lolo. They didn't settle with me. Lolo had to fight that shit. I had to fight that shit. And they ain't doing shit for you. They started putting you and your children in jail, started doing all kind of shit to you that they should not be doing. Ain't nothing for our children doing things like that. And they want to pledge allegiance to the flag and open with a prayer. We're the prayingest folks and I got to tell you what John Henry Clark said. He said that all that Bible you don't have just you got just one white angel in there. Do you know that we're the only people that worship another man's God? We're the only people. Black people are the only people that worship white folks. Michelangelo, when in 325 BC, y'all can Google this stuff. Michelangelo was charged with making a portrait of Jesus, and he took one of his family members and drew a picture of Jesus, and that's the Jesus. That's y'all God. Did you know that Buddhism is in Japan, it's in China, it's in India, it's in Vietnam. Each one of them has a Buddha that does not look like all the other Buddhas. If it's in Vietnam, it's a Vietnamese Buddha. If it's in Japan, it's a Japanese Buddha, meaning that the Buddha looks like them. We are the only race of people that don't have a God that look like us. Black folks. Man, that stuff is by design. It's by design. All the praying that you've done and look at the state of things in Meridian, all the praying that you do on Sunday, and you ain't changed shit in Meridian or in your life. Come on, folks. If you really want to change things, get your ass up off your knees and vote. I got to talk about a couple of things. Y'all see this right here where it said Kay and Gray Unfiltered. And Kay is going to be the lead of this, is that she's starting a new podcast. And Kay, I will allow for you to come in and talk and tell them when it's going to be. But Kay is part of Generation Z. And Kay is going to talk about her podcast because she wanna indict her parents. She want to indict her peers that are not voting. She want to do all she can to get them to vote, to turn out to vote for not only this presidential election, but more precisely the election in Meridian next year, so we can create change. And so Kay can tell y'all, and Kay, you can post that when Kay and Gray Unfiltered, meaning to be unfiltered, while she'll be taking the lead. I remember when reaching out with Eddie when she was my co-host, but I'm her co-host. So, but she's going to be talking about things that impact her and her peers. Folks, hold up. I stepped a little bit further there because I really want to make a difference in this election. I have a son. Candace, will you take a picture and put a picture of my son, Cody, and then my son, Carter, and then put a picture up of my daughter, Araya. And the reason why I want y'all to see them, because Araya's birthday is tomorrow. She'll be 14 years old. And I'm very proud of her. She's doing good. She's going to a private school up here, well, virtual school up here with Birmingham City School. And she's doing very well. Also, she's starting a podcast. And Araya, you can post the name of your podcast. And Candace, if you don't mind, I'd like for you to post the name of their podcast. If you know it, I think I'm the one that's gonna have to tell y'all. Oh, I already know it. It's Connor, and my son's name is Connor Holt, and I have another son named Carter Holt. It's Connor and Carter's Insights. And so what they're gonna be talking about, what they see from their age and what kind of life that you're leaving for them, and they're gonna be talking about things for their peers. And Red's gonna do the same thing. Now, I can tell you, I think this is going to impact the coming election. And I tell y'all something else, is that TC, Thomas Charles Parker, is going to run for city council in Ward 4. Rita Jackson is going to run for mayor. Tyrone Johnson is running for mayor. I'm talking about those two because I think that between those two, that one of those need to be the mayor of Meridian, Mississippi coming up. I think if Rita was the mayor of Meridian, a lot of the concerns that we have will be addressed. It's one thing that I do know is that she would put the most qualified individuals in those positions. Now I ain't telling that she ain't Gray Hope. She ain't gonna make everybody be black. Cause if you make me your mayor, everybody gonna be black. Ain't gonna be no white folks in no position of authority because they have seen that. Where if you have one most qualified white person, let me see what a white person can do in Meridian. Nothing. So we cannot, we gotta have, I don't even want a white defense attorney for the city of Meridian. I don't even want a white prosecutor. I don't want a white assistant prosecutor. I don't want a white judge. I don't even want the clerks in there. When a black person come in there, they should not get nervous because they see all them white folks making all this money. How is it that we got to feed and take care of them when we had to get food stamps and get welfare and get farm commodities? Farm commodities is excess food. They have farmers to make food and they give it away to poor people so that the farmers get these grants, get large sums of money to make food, and they don't have, this food is not being bought. They put a funny little label on it, and they'll send it out to poor people. That's what they did when we were young. So we got boxes of food that was free based on the size of the family. So how is it that we had to go through all that and we still go through that? And when we give a nigga the keys to the store, such as Jimmy Smith and Percy Bland, these niggas go out and feed everybody but us. And so Percy Bland did not give the most qualified people those positions. That's the reason why he had so many changes. Charles Coleman, yeah, that's the chief of police. Charles Coleman had never been chief of police, but he had the qualification to be chief of police because he was retired with the state trooper, but you couldn't pass over, and I have a lot of respect for Reverend Coleman. You couldn't pass over someone such as Rita Jacks, who's actually was an acting captain, if I'm not mistaken, at that particular time, around there telling these people that are coming in to be her boss what to do and how to do it. Damn, Percy, what the fuck was wrong with you? See, now Percy didn't want anyone in there that he could not control. He didn't want anyone in there that was going to follow the laws. He wanted someone in there that was going to do what he told them to do. And once Charles Coleman wouldn't do that, Charles Coleman had to go. Charles Coleman is a God-fearing man and was not going to do that. And so then, okay, you bought Chris Reed in there. Now, I can tell y'all, now, Percy was corrupt. It was corrupt. They owned that interstate and everything. If drugs came through the interstate of Meridian, those drugs, and sue me if I'm lying, those drugs was placed back on the street. If money came through there and then one of Percy's police officers got it, I'm saying Percy's police officers got it, that money end up in his pocket. Sue me if I'm lying. Damn it now. Don't make me prove it to you. I have depositions a whole year long. So why would you want to bring that nigga back? I don't give a damn if we get a next mayor. If I support Rita, if I support Tyrone, and the votes get splitted, then so they get splitted. At least damn Jimmy Smith and damn Dustin Markin ass will be gone. And Percy Bland won't bring his sorry ass back with the shit he was doing. But I don't believe that. I think that if a rare imperative, and that's hers, it's it. It's Rhea. Her name is Rhea. Her name is Araya. It's Rhea's imperatives. Imperatives are things that must be done. She gonna talk about those things that must be done so that she and her, so that those little roots, the little roots getting ready to speak to you out there in podcast land, those little roots gonna tell you what you're doing that is causing them duress now. Those little roots are gonna tell you, hey, you need to do something different. I ain't asking you for a lot. I'll be okay if you take part of the political process. Man, I'm talking about it's gonna be, and I gotta tell you this. I see my daughter Katara. Hey, baby, and I can tell you this, Katara, your little nephew, Cody Connor is gonna be fluent in Spanish. He already speaks Spanish better than me and can recognize it, and he can walk up to talk to people. He listened to me. Here's the plan. I'm finna give y'all the plan, and then I'm gonna talk a little bit more, and then we're gonna probably close out, maybe. But here's the plan. Here's my plan for my family. And so here's the plan. When I say my family, here's my plan out there, podcast land. Here's what you want your children to do. Here's what you want to do. You want to educate yourself, because I promise you, education overcome all bounds. You want to educate yourself. Now, everybody can't get a college degree, but you can get a certification in HVAC, that's heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. We don't have any trades on in our community anymore. You can become an electrician. That's another trade degree. You can become a plumber. Those are trades that pays a lot of money, pays more money than most college degrees starting out, even a pharmacist. If you're not going to do that, then you need to get a college degree in the medical field. The United States is no longer power because they have sourced everything out somewhere else. And that's what's bad. And they should not have done that. Q, go ahead on and post a picture of a Rhea. And this here is Rhea's imperative. Okay, there's my daughter, Rhea. Could you find a more up-to-date picture? Because she doesn't look like that now. That's when she was about 11. Also, show me a picture of Connor and Carter, or one after the other. Okay, that's Connor. This is Connor, and that's Carter. And they're going to be doing their podcast insights. And so these are young people that are concerned about, you can take it down. Thank you, Q. They're concerned about the state of the community, where is it going? And they can make a difference. And they can make a difference. And I believe that, because they're going to be talking to their peers. Hey, get your parents to go vote so that we can change things, so that we can stop people like Amy Carter to miseducating us, so that we can be treated fairly when we go into school. Our teachers, a lot of the teachers are not like us. They're from the other community, the other persuasion, they're white folks. But even if they're all black, like the schools up here have mostly black teachers, but those teachers now they're more like old Steve. They kind of like keeping our children in order. They're instead of educating our children and bringing our children up to a level that they should be on in order to go to the next level. Those educators, the ones that I've seen up here and down there, are coming down to the level of our children, and they are acting like them, shaking their head, calling them knucklehead and those kind of things. And that's just not going to flow. And look for reasons to miseducate and uneducate as opposed to educate. Okay, Q, post the updated photo of. Oh, come here, Rhea. Come here. Okay, that's good. Drop that down. Come on. Right, because this is a Rhea. Don't do that. Just tell them, hey. Okay, bye. That's Araya, and that's actually her hair. She had it weeded up and she took it down. But Araya's going to be starting her podcast. And so it's a lot of things that we're going to be doing to affect the next election. And I'm going to say this. Please, people out there in podcast land, do not waste your vote. A wasted vote is voting for someone, and you know that person is a liar. You know that he didn't do anything. He had 8 years, and he didn't do shit, but made himself richer. But he's not rich now, folks, because you know money is like when you pinch out for it, it's like a rat going to cheese. The more you pinch out for it, the more of it leaves. So he ain't got that sack. He wants that power. Percy Trump, y'all remember that? That's his new name. Percy Trump wants the power. He wants the money. He wants revenge. Donald Bland want power, he want money, he want revenge. It ain't no difference between them two niggas. Jimmy Smith just need to go. Too old, unqualified, and he ain't done nothing for us. So he want to keep the power. He want to keep that. And so, but he need to go. He want to keep the money. He want to keep the power. He want to keep the prestige. But he ain't done nothing for us. He ain't done nothing for you. So we can drive with, so we're safe on the highway, so the roads look better. He did more than in the less than 4 years than Percy Bland ass didn't do that shit in 4 years. When the Percy Bland fixed the street, it was a regular street. You could see the line in the middle of the road, and he did that shit before the election, trying to fool you so he can get reelected. His ass still had to go. But look at Jimmy Smith. Those roads are perfect and done like they're supposed to do. Now, I got to give him credit for that, but I can't give him credit for nothing else. Because he still had all the white, his administration, all the people he feeding everybody, but the people he going to be dependent upon you to vote for his ass. He going to depend upon you to let him keep his job. Percy Bland is dependent upon you to let him get his job back. I'm sorry, Two Bill had to remind me, said, bro, that ain't Percy Bland, that's Percy Trump. Percy Trump gonna have to, oh boy, I love that shit. Percy Trump. Y'all spread, that's my meme. Spread that around. Percy Trump do not need to go back. Percy Trump, we dump Percy Trump on his wrong. We need to keep him out there, and we need to not let him come back. Do not bring that Bama back. Let Percy Trump stay gone, and get rid of Jimmy Trump, because they all do the same thing. They don't do nothing but look out for their constituencies, and they don't do anything in the black community. Now, I know what some of y'all out there saying, well, Donald Trump pardoned a couple of rappers. That didn't affect me and you. How did that affect us? He did some Barack Obama. How did that affect us? My son's still in jail. He was in jail then, he in jail now. Your cousin, my nephew, we know family and friends is in jail. We got family and friends that's dead now because of these same niggas. So how did that benefit us? So they need to go. Now I'm finna start from the top. I'm gonna read my comments, and then I'm coming back in here. Folks, I tell you, I did not know this is kind of like an ad-lib show. Now, I gotta tell y'all that my qualification meter, I have a qualification meter, and I'm gonna go Jimmy Smith. He failed the meter. He failed. It's failed. Now, y'all challenge me on this. Tell me if Jimmy Smith is qualified to be mayor. Damn how he look. Is he qualified? Now, the determining factors to determine whether or not they're qualified, has your quality of life changed? Has things gotten better for you? Or things need to be done? Or things being done fairly? He didn't even give us an 80%. 80% of the people that work at City Hall should be black. I ain't talking about in service-oriented position. I'm talking about in leadership position. At least 80%. But it's not like that. Tyrone Johnson, I got to give him 100%, folks, because he never been mayor before, and he's a pretty good city council person. Y'all here, too bad, get out of here. Tybell Lindsay, I say she failed. I say that she, and I say she's not qualified because she hadn't done a stellar job, right? Then I can tell you that I like the way she talked, and I like how concerned she was when I went before the council. But she still appointed Deborah Young. They still gave that guy from Jackson, Mississippi, that position over a more qualified black person. So fair. And the same reason for Joe Norwood, and the same reason for Ramonda Walker, and the same reason for Dwayne Davis. So all of them. And George Thomas, you know, ain't what I got. He's actually 100% for re-election for his constituents and for white people, because he done a stellar job for them. So George Thomas, I gotta, on the qualification meter, I gotta give him 100. And if I'm wrong, tell me, because he done a stellar job for his people. He done shit for us. So, but for his folks and for his constituents or his ward, he get 100%. Now I get back to Muddy. Rita Jack, 100%. If I was to say between her and Tyrone Johnson, she's most qualified because I think, and for his level of education, they have the same education. I think Tyrone is working on his PhD now. They both come from the same place, Meridian, Mississippi, come from the hood. They both pulled themselves up by their bootstrap. So I think that right now, folks, now y'all need to dump. Y'all need to dump Percy, and you need to dump Jimmy. Percy Trump and Jimmy Trump. Well, you leave Jimmy Smith. But the Smith, is it John Robert Smith or is it Jimmy Smith? It's the same. It's the same. Or is it Jimmy Smith or Jimmy Barry? It's the same. Sherry Barry, and rest in peace. Sherry Barry, is it Jimmy Barry or is it Jimmy Smith? It's the same. Those same people benefited once he got in office. But guess what? Ain't none of us benefited. One of the mistakes I think we made is not letting Sherry Barry keep that job. The reason why I say that, I think that more would have been done for us than it was under our first black mayor. And Lolo and I never would have got charged. I'm going to read your comments, and then we're going to close out. My daughter Katara said my dad has a lot of growth. Two Bell said, bro, put your glass on. Q, bring me some glasses. I'm like Sanford, you know, a lot of glass. Y'all see me squint. I'm trying to see. So my daughter said, Dad, what you mad about, baby? I ain't mad at nothing. I'm trying to see. I got to, you know, one thing I'm going to tell you something. Keep living. Keep living. These little things. Okay, let me show y'all my face. Let's see, can I get it? But as we age, those things come in and they become more and more predominant. And number eight, keep on living. All I say, you don't want to die with it smooth like you did when you're 20. That means you didn't live that long. Okay, that's good. Qatar said, my dad has had a lot of growth from how he used to handle things. I'm proud of him. Um, Very true. I guess she's making a comment about things. Okay, baby boomer generation is 1946 to 1964. Generation X is 1965 to 1980. The millennials 1981 to 1996. Generation Z 1997 to 2012, and the Alpha generation starting in 2013 all the way up to now. So that's the generation now. So you can see what generation failed and what generation you are a part of. Uh, and my daughter said that we got to vote, and we do, folks. We got to vote because that's our voice, and and we're the worst when it comes to using our voice. Meaning that we don't use our voice. We use our voice when we filming each other fighting and stuff. We put more nonsense on Twitter, on Instagram, and Snapchat than any other race of people. You see us fighting on YouTube. You see us fighting on, I guess it's Instagram and Snapchat, and I might be interchanging them wrong, but you see us, and it's fun for our own community. Do you realize that we are helping perpetuate the ignorance that's in our community when we post those kind of things? All you got to, you using your voice wrong. You should use your voice to uplift, to be a better person, to vote. You got to vote. So those of you, say, put your grandchildren to work. Let them do podcasts. Let them talk to your mamas. If you're watching this, and I know we on everything, and I'm gonna be doing these little short videos and things like that, just so that I can educate you and stay in your face, because we need to make a difference. We can't go back to the past, and we need to look to our future. Person Bland is not our future. Our future lies in someone such as Rita Jacks and Tyrone Johnson. And I can tell you this is that our future, dude. I don't know this guy that used to be over the rooms. I'm told he's a pretty fair person, but he's not more qualified than Tyrone Johnson. He's not more qualified than Rita Jacks. He's not. And while I encourage everybody to run against everybody, and I encourage you Republicans to run, but y'all know y'all are not being fair to us, but we're not being fair to ourselves when we don't vote. The only reason his generation was raised to think that white people are superior because his parents and his generation parents were raised to think that white people are superior. Now, when you say his generation, you should have given me the name, because I don't know the name. But Terry Carey said she's really disappointed in Jimmy Smith, but so are a lot of people, Terry. And right now, we need to get behind someone that's going to give us our first black. And I got to ask you this, Rita. Do you think that you would give us a black CAO? Got to ask you the same thing, Tyrone. Would you give us a black CAO? And I think that we need that. I think we deserve that. We need a black judge. We need a black prosecutor. We need a black, and everybody needs to work together to educate, to help rehabilitate, to uplift the black community, as opposed to continue to eat off the black community, misuse and mistreat the black community. But it's us that allow for that to happen. But it's time for us to put people in place. Amy Carter need to go. We need Jesus. We need Jesus. I need Rita Jesus. I need Tyrone Jesus. I need Jesus to come in and turn over the tables and run the scribes and the Pharisees the hell up out of the temple. I need for the next mayor to go into the city meridian and turn the damn tables off and fire every damn body, including that's everybody need to go, especially that school. That school is the first gateway to destroying our children and miseducating them and sending them down the road to MDOC incarceration. And we got to change that. And the only way we're going to change that, put people in. Person was so concerned about hurting white. I don't give a damn about hurting white folks' feeling or black folks' feeling. If it's what's right, I don't care. Our generation, and she's talking about Generation Z. And I wish I knew. High value man, what generation are you from? I would like to know that. So will you post what generation you're from so that I can say that? And I agree with you. And my generation was, everything was separate for us. I used to go outside of a lot of their county courthouse and drink water. I couldn't go inside of there. You couldn't go inside there for any reason. unless you was paying taxes. And you better go in there and come out. You couldn't even go into a restaurant that was what white folks say you go in there and buy food, but you couldn't sit down. You had to stand up, order what you wanted, then get the hell up out of there. And you could go in places like where that apartment, there used to be Woolworth, and you could go in there and buy food, but you couldn't sit down and eat it. You buy food, you stand at attention just about and leave up out of there. And so now we got the keys to the store, but shit ain't better for us. It's the same as if we didn't have the keys to the store. So we know Percy Bland is not going to do. You know what he did? He don't give a damn about you. Percy Trump don't give a damn about you. And Jimmy Smith has shown you the same thing. So it's time for us. Look, if a white man gonna come in there and have all department heads that's gonna be black, damn it, elected, but it ain't gonna happen because he's not gonna do it. And Percy Bland ain't gonna do nothing but lie to you. He done lied to you something already. Y'all mad at Jimmy Smith. He wasn't gonna run, but he see an opportunity because everybody's talking about how disappointed they are at Jimmy Smith, and we wish you were back. Y'all stop telling that nigga lies. Percy Trump do not give a damn about y'all. This Generation Z, our generation literally has nothing now because white people are once again back in charge nationally and locally. We want to experience change until we stand up for change, and I agree with that. And how about and they became Generation Z have became complacent and numbed down. The millennials, they've been numbed down with drugs and alcohol and good time. Qatar, say happy birthday. Azaria Lene. Now I gotta figure out who's Azaria Lene. Zaria Lene. I don't know who that is. I believe that's Araya. Lord, Lord, Lord. I love you too, baby. Qatar, just excited. Let me see. Can I come down? She said one thing y'all have to know about me is that I verify my information, and I do. And sometimes I get misinformation, but I'm quick to correct it. Kay and Gray Unfiltered will be every Monday at 6 p.m. on YouTube. I will be empowering my generation and letting them know that now is our time to take back what's ours, or at least get a part of the pie. We don't even have a part of the pie. I want to thank all of y'all for listening in. And again, somebody gonna be running against everybody, and for me, it's about change. It's time for us to get people out of there. Man, it'll make you want to throw up. You go in the city council meetings and see all the white folks down there that got their hand out and getting the check signed by that all-black city council, except for George Saint. It'll make you want to regurgitate. Now, they benefit so much, and you don't see black people coming there. I went in there begging. I said, well, y'all ain't got to do it for me. Y'all can change the audience. They won't even change the audience. That's just how bad I am hated in the white community. And the pawns, which are the people that are there now, they use their pawns in order to impede folks like me and people like such as the pawns being used against Rita, against Van, against Lolo, and a lot of you out there in podcast land. I want to tell y'all that I want to thank all of you all for listening. And it's I want to encourage you now to start voting. And those of you that have not been voting, start voting. And I got to tell y'all that when Lolo ran for office, you did yourself a disservice by not putting her in that position. So again, folks, make sure y'all vote. And then the next show will be Kay and Gray Unfiltered. And you won't see this pretty face as much as you seen it today. Y'all have a good day. If you have any questions, y'all send them. Y'all post it here, post it on YouTube. And I promise you, any comments that you put on YouTube, I will definitely answer them. And make sure y'all tell somebody. I'm going to put a link on Facebook so that this entire show can be seen on Facebook. After 60 days, I'll be able to be live on Facebook at the same time I'm live on YouTube. So, but we'll be putting links everywhere. And y'all look for my children. They'll be starting when Kay and Gray, when I talk next week, I'll be giving you their itinerary when they're going to start. They're not going to start this week or next week, But I think probably the first week of October, I think, when I'll bring them on. If not, it'll be the last week of September. If I don't do that, then it'll be the first week of October. But let's plan on them coming on the first week of October. So we have Monday, we have Wednesday, so we're going to have Tuesday, and we're going to have Friday. So the children going to be coming on those days. And so again, folks, I want to thank y'all for listening in. And I don't want to talk too much about who I'm supporting or who I'm going to support. I'm going to bring the issues to you, but what I'm going to do all I can to help people get registered to vote. And I'll be in Mississippi. I'll be in Meridian more now, getting people registered to vote and going door to door and talking to you and finding out who I need to take to the vote, the polls to vote for absentee, and also who I need to be taken to polls on election day itself, because I'm gonna be there working. I'm gonna work. You're gonna think I live there. You're gonna see me so much. Y'all have a good evening. Thank you for listening in. Again, I don't know who let me see, this person was High Value Man, but High Value Man, thank you for listening in and everything. And I want to thank everybody that's listening. Don't think that I'm a racist. I'm not a racist. I just believe in black nationalism. And black nationalism is not a racist agenda or a racist perspective. It's just meaning that you care about black people and being in power. Do you realize that if you was to let us sit down at the table, but you don't have to let us sit down at the table, folks. We can do it ourselves. If we start voting and exercising our vote as our voice, then we can promote black nationalism and white community out there that's listening to me. It won't be so much crime in your community because you'll have people that genuinely care about it, that want to address these issues. You won't have people such as Amy Carter that's miseducating our children and promoting chaos in our community. You won't have Percy Trump promoting chaos. You won't have Jimmy Smith promoting chaos, because if they wanted community, what Martin Luther King talked about while he was living, he said chaos of community. That chose chaos, but it's to our detriment, because we constitute over 50% of the population, and that's a low number in Alabama and Mississippi. The numbers is probably closer to 80%, and we only constitute 28% in 38% in Mississippi and 26% in Alabama, but over 2/3 of in percentage wise, our people, a third of our people in prison. There's something wrong with that, people. It's something wrong with that when you have people that are always singling us out for incarceration, for tickets, for fines. We don't have it in Meridian, Mississippi, but go to that court any day of the week and you have God Malcolm up in there talking to people and throwing them a bone every now and then like he's doing something. But he's not right. He's not right. The minute he got a chance to kiss the ring of the other community, he kissed that ring. He was sucking on it so hard he swallowed it. The only thing happened, he should have choked on it. Y'all have a good evening. Thank you for listening. I'm trying to